Hello, everyone. It's Mwelwa again, and I'm currently in Livingstone, Zambia, where I'm about to have a very interesting conversation ahead of another busy week for Financial Insight, as well as the Ministry of Tourism, as well as Radisson Blue Hotel. So stay tuned for my conversation with the CEO of Zambia Tourism and the General Manager at Radisson Blue Hotel in Livingstone, so that you get to know. Mr. Matongo, thank you so much for joining us on this special interview. And Shaun Wheeler, thank you so much for joining us yet again. It's always a pleasure to talk to our friends from Zambia Tourism. And, this week is yet another busy week in your, annual calendar. For many of our viewers who do not know, this week, I think, Zambia Tourism is playing host for another important event, like the many events that, continue to showcase various destinations in Zambia. But I'm just able to just share with us why it's becoming more and more important for destinations such as Livingstone to be showcased to be destinations of choice, especially for hosting conferences.
Thanks as usual. It's a pleasure to have this conversation with you, a good friend of the tourism sector. Thank you for all the coverage we get from you. Just to indicate that, I think you are spot on about Livingstone. Just to give you a rundown of the last 2 weeks, what has just been happening here in Livingstone. Just last week, feeding into this week, we had the Aviation Week, and this is African Aviation Week. So the aviation sector and tourism converging the whole week, discussing all things in tourism and aviation, how the aviation sector and the tourism, they work together, and we had brilliant speakers from all over Africa. Other than that, we had the African Eden doing a travel show. We had buyers from all over Africa, again meeting with all operators within Livingstone to just showcase and sell their packages. Brilliant stuff. Again, we are part of all these conversations. And we move out of there straight into what we are hosting this week, the United Nations Tourism, what we call CAF, the African Commission and American Commission. This is basically a meeting of tourism ministers from all the Latin American countries and the African countries. We are going to have close to 80 countries represented in one way or another, discussing all things tourism. How can we work together? How can we, for specifically us in Africa, how can we look at Africa being a destination as Africa before we look at our specific countries? So basically it's just collaboration. The Americas as well, they are doing the same, and we are saying they have similar products to us, and how can we work together and move tourists between Latin American countries and African American countries, and then put this into policy collaboration at the highest level. That's why the ministers are coming here. And thanks to United Nations Tourism, because they've created this umbrella. We are all going to do this under the auspices of the United Nations Tourism, and the Secretary General for UN Tourism is actually going to be our key guest.
Absolutely. Now, obviously listening to, how the past 2 weeks have been, in fact, I would say last couple of months, and even the week ahead and weeks to come, you have CAF this week. We also understand that, there's also Mosi Day of Thunder coming in the next couple of weeks. For you, Shaun, you're obviously on the hospitality end, and, being able to have capacity has obviously been one of the things that keeps on coming up. Does Livingstone have capacity? What do you say to, people that, have doubts about Livingstone's ability, and for all these events that keep on coming, what does it say to people that are keen on coming to Livingstone in terms of reinforcing why this destination Livingstone has become ever so important?
Thank you for the opportunity. I think Livingstone has a lot to offer. We certainly have the capacity from a venue perspective, and we certainly have a capacity from a rooms perspective. We currently have 2,700 rooms available throughout Livingstone. There are 3 lodges, for example, under construction at the moment. They're all fairly small, but there are more planned. So we're hoping that by year end we're up to close to 3,000 rooms, which is great. As we know, when we added the Radisson, it added another 200 rooms to the total inventory. So we certainly have the capacity from an all year round perspective. But I think we must also understand that whilst we bring in a lot of regional tourism and a lot of international tourism, a lot of our focus is on local Zambian tourism and travel within Zambia itself, which continues to do incredibly well. So capacity-wise, we have the rooms, we have great weather, we have the falls, the water's back and it's flowing wonderfully, and we have the venues. So I wouldn't like to say we're back in business, but we have more opportunities now than we've had before. We're hopefully seeing the last of the drought in terms of its impact. And even since, just as a small figure, since November last year, the river in front of the hotel is up over 4.5 meters from where it was. It's not that we ran out of water, but it was getting a bit low. There's plenty to do, when it comes to things to do in Livingstone, and also, we are a centre for business, we're a centre for leisure, and we continue to provide, those experiences year round.
No, thank you so much, for sharing those key insights. Financial Insight is looking forward to, supporting Zambia Tourism at this event. And what a wonderful place to be hosted by Radisson Blue Hotel. Thank you so much, for, the support you also continue to show the media. So, we look forward to covering the upcoming events and wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you, but just a quick addition. I think it's important. Shaun is talking about the domestic side of things. Believe you me, I don't know how many AGMs are running right here in Livingstone. I think we just had the Engineering Institute of Zambia, Law Association of Zambia. They are coming in. I know the Zambia Institute of Marketing is coming in, and this all fits into the MICE strategy for the country. Keeps the hotels busy, and we really look forward to seeing just more investment so that we can actually host all these shows, and that's what economic development on the tourism side looks like. Thank you.
No, thank you so much for speaking to Financial Insights. So we look forward to covering the events that will be taking place this week and in the coming weeks. As usual, we always value your support. So to all our viewers, stay tuned for more insights from Financial Insight in Livingstone. I've been your host, Mwelwa Kenneth Chibesakunda. Get to know.